Jack Hanma has gotten absurdly more powerful and could be power creeping the fighters of Baki. After leaving the series for a good amount of time, Jack had returned taller and stronger than ever, as Jack had gone from being actually shorter than Pickle to Jack now absolutely towering over Pickle, who is according to Google 8 feet tall, making Jack at least 10 feet tall in my opinion. And as a result of this height boost, I can only assume that there was also a strength boost to accompany it, as visually Jack has not lost much if any muscle at all, and Jack's current fight against Kaoru Hanayama has supported this assumption as well, as Jack has been hit directly by Hanayama's signature punch that has caused even the likes of Yujiro Hanma to bleed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that Jack is near Yujiro's strength, but Jack got away with only a bent tooth which is made of titanium, meaning Jack's jaw did not break like it had before, and also none of Jack's teeth were knocked out, which once again was a very big problem for Jack before, as I'm pretty sure that he's on his third set of teeth now. And from what we have recently been seeing, Jack has turned into a tank of a fighter, with Jack taking most damage from his opponent head on. And not to sound like a broken record, but Jack would just not be able to take this kind of damage the way he does now prior to his training arc, as Jack at one point was actually somewhat of a glass cannon in my opinion, which was due to Jack being injured constantly from different attacks, such as his jaw being broken by Pickle. But it seems like he has solved this issue, as the only real damage that he's taken is genuinely just some scratches from Pickle. And Jack's progress did not stop at his physical size or his durability, but Jack has now also entered the world of wrestling, which has made Jack a seemingly unstoppable force, as wrestling is a game-changing martial art with numerous examples existing, with the main one for me being Conor McGregor versus Khabib. Wrestling and grappling gives Jack the ability to control the way that his fights are going from almost any position, which Jack has actually done during his fight against Hanayama, when after getting back up, Jack had thrown a punch and grabbed Hanayama's wrist, which had then led into a judo throw that slammed Hanayama into the ground, as well as Jack's now signature suplex, which also led to Jack showcasing his grappling by Jack holding Hanayama's arms down. And this is when Jack then began mixing his Gaudo with his martial arts, and he had bit down on Hanayama's shoulder area. Not only does this move show us Jack's progression, but it could also be potentially hinting towards Jack doing something similar as what he had done to Sukune. Due to Jack not being able to bite down on Hanayama's bone, he is left with one option when it comes to his Gaudo doing damage to Hanayama, and that is blood loss or Jack targeting specific muscles to tear Hanayama apart, which would be extremely viable, as though Hanayama's bones are like steel, Hanayama's muscles remain as vulnerable as any other fighters. And when Jack had fought Sukune, he had bitten Sukune's trapezius muscles off of his body, which had taken away the majority of Sukune's lifting ability, as Sukune was only able to muster up enough energy to get one more throw off on Jack, and even after the fight, Sukune will never be the same as he once was, as the trapezius muscles are crucial to fluent movement, as well as overhead lifting, which is also very important in Sukune's martial art, sumo. And not only has Jack Hanma changed physically, but also mentally, as Jack is smarter than ever with his fighting style. Jack is no longer as reckless as he once was, with Jack now fighting smarter and not only being cautious, but even exploiting his opponent's weaknesses, with the most prevalent example in my opinion being Jack's recent fight against Pickle. Pickle is not exactly known for having the best defense, as usually Pickle's muscles are so strong that most attacks can be dismissed, but Jack had noted this carefree mentality of Pickle's and exploited it, which led to Pickle being suplexed over 5 times, and I am not exaggerating at all. And after one particularly hard suplex, Jack had followed it up with a hammer blow that had dazed Pickle, and Jack had then bitten onto Pickle's left cheek and proceeded to bite off the entire left side of Pickle's face below his eye. And when Pickle had gotten mad after being suplexed again, he had actually done damage to Jack. With Pickle releasing his anger, Jack remained composed and proceeded to bite into Pickle again, which would then later lead into 4 more consecutive suplexes to end this fight, making Jack the victor. Prior to BAKI RAHEN, Jack had pride in himself, and he was to an extent pretty short-tempered, with Jack caring largely for disrespect. But it seems that Jack now hardly cares for how he is treated, and he genuinely cares about nothing but winning fights. After all, in the beginning of BAKI RAHEN, Jack had even stated that he does not care for the consequence of the fights as long as he takes the victory, no matter who it is against, meaning Jack would rather die than lose again to anybody. which also explains why Jack has not been allowing any risk to take place in any of his fights in BAKI RAHEN, and he has been consistently trying his best and not playing around or letting up on any of his opponents. And another result of Jack thinking in this manner is Jack no longer solely caring about defeating his father Yujiro, but now Jack Hanma's goal is to wholeheartedly become the strongest of all time with no distractions that he had prior, such as revenge. And I think that this mentality will only cause Jack to get stronger. Jack has grown capable of resisting his anger, and with Jack finally finding a purpose that he can pursue on his own terms without being clouded by hatred, he can only become stronger from here. Jack understands his value as a fighter and is willing to do anything to increase that value of his. However, I am slightly concerned for how Jack's story will go in the future, as manga writers tend to foreshadow events far before they take place. And at the beginning of BAKI RAHEN, when Jack was preparing for his battle with Kosho, he had stated that he will die for the smallest fight if it meant winning, which would hint towards the biting cyborg's potential death in the future, and this would actually make sense, as Jack plans on fighting the strongest possible fighters that he could find in the Baki-verse. And as of Jack Hanma versus Kaoru Hanayama, I believe that Hanayama may be getting underestimated. For many, Hanayama's strength is being overshadowed by Jack's recent accomplishments, which are in fact impressive. But we have to keep in mind, Hanayama is still a competitor and can keep up with the top fighters in Baki. The main issue with Hanayama is his stubborn mindset of taking attacks head on, which went absolutely terrible for Pickle during his fight with Jack. Though it does seem that Hanayama is still landing his own attacks due to a combination of brute force and absurd natural strength as well as technique. And also, when Jack had punched Pickle, there was an impact drawn by Itagaki, which indicates an extremely strong blow, as this effect also appears on Yujiro Hanma's punches just to emphasize how strong the attack truly was. And this just goes to show that Jack is always getting stronger. I'm sure the steroids and maybe even the height extending surgeries may backfire on him one day, but as of the time I'm recording this, he is only getting stronger, taller, and better, with Jack showing no sign of slowing down anytime soon, meaning Jack is a main character, so he's gonna get that main character treatment. But that is going to be all for today's video. Let me know in the comment section below, did you enjoy today's video? And if you did and would like to support me, then you can leave a like and subscribe. It is completely free on your end and helps me out way more than you may think. And if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. And thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. To be honest, I really didn't think that this channel would ever make it this far, and me saying this does not even feel real, to be honest. I've been locking in and posting a lot recently with daily shorts and videos that I'm just passionate about, and the support in return has been a lot more than I had expected, and I promise there will only be more to come from my end, and I hope you guys keep enjoying videos like this one. I like making them, and it makes me glad that you guys like watching them. It really does mean more to me than you guys probably think. But that will be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!